So we are going to continue with our conversation with Gabrielle Korn. She's a digital editorial director at Nylon Media. Gabrielle, come on out. Let's welcome. Go ahead. So Gabrielle, she was previously the beauty editor at Refinery 29. Before that, worked in queer and feminist media, holding editorial positions at Autostraddle and On the Issues magazine. So for those that don't know, fill us in. What's Nylon?
So Nylon is an international media brand. We've got a magazine and a website, and we're for millennial women, and we reach about 30 million of them a month.
Wow. So let's talk about journalism for a while, because you've been at several different places. Mm-hmm. Do you think today journalism is inclusive?
You know, I think it's starting to be, and I think largely because the internet is such a crowded space, it's kind of a roundabout way to get to inclusivity. But when you have so many brands in such a crowded space talking about the same things, chasing these huge numbers, you know, 30, 40, 100 million people, you can't alienate any part of your audience. That's not going to help you grow. So, you know, you have to have people coming to your website and feel seen in it and welcome. So I think it's really starting to feel inclusive.
So if you're writing to all of these women, what are you hearing that they really want to hear in the magazine? I mean, what do they want you to cover?
They want to be surprised. They want to feel like they're reading content that's cool and interesting that no one else is talking about, and they want to see themselves in it.
Yeah. And is there certain topics where you know that your readership just doesn't not read it, participate, engage in it, in anything? Is there anything that's not?
No, not really. I mean, I think what's so amazing and wonderful about millennial women is that they want to know everything. There's no one topic that's not nylon as long as we approach it from a nylon way. And I always say that nylon is the coolest, weirdest, nicest girl in the room. And that girl is going to tell you about everything. She's going to know about politics and music and fashion and beauty, and they're all going to be equally important to her.
Let's talk about the discussion today that's happening, and we just had about shame and others. How do you cover shame in women and beauty today, from the nylon way? You know? Yeah,
I mean, we talk about beauty from all different perspectives. I kind of feel like it's equal parts dismantling the beauty industry and obsessing over it. So we're going to write about growing out your body hair and how awesome that is, and then we'll also write about like a cool new body hair removal. You know, like we're going to give everyone's body hair equal opportunity.
Give them a chance.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong. I mean, you have options, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. In your coverage of maybe LGBTQ issues and so on, because we were talking about social justice today, what are you seeing happening in the media? And then let's talk about Nylon's perspective.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that the media really wanted to stop talking about LGBT issues when we got marriage equality. And I think that now is a really important moment for queer and trans issues in the media because of what happened in Orlando. People are talking about it and saying, you know, this unthinkable violence. But really, if you're queer, if you're trans, this wasn't unthinkable. This was our greatest fear. This is something we think about and live with every day. There's ongoing violence. And so I think we really need to harness this new kind of interest and sympathy and be like, hey, homophobia and transphobia are real issues and people are dying and we need to keep talking about it.
And how about Nylon? Similar perspective, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's the benefit of my job. Yeah. So on Sunday morning when the news broke about what happened in Orlando, we covered it immediately. We did a news post that morning that was basically everything you need to know about what just happened. The next day we did 5 things you can do to help. And then the next day I did an essay about kind of the socio-political implications of how we talk about acts of violence in the queer community.
And response by the?
Amazing. I mean, every different way of covering it was appreciated and shared and read.
Have there been, and this comes from the audience, has there been anything or any issues that you've been hesitant to cover?
Not really. I mean, going back to Orlando, when that first happened, I had half a second of hesitance, of being like, this is news about violence. Where does nylon fit into this? And then the moment passed and I was just like, we belong right there with everyone else who's talking about it because the millennial women are coming to us to read about it, you know? Like, there's no reason why they should go to CNN and not us when we have access to the same exact things.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you going in terms of digital content on Nylon? Where do you want to go?
I want to do more original, beautiful features that no one else is doing. I want to give people a reason to read us and no one else. So that means being more diverse, being more inclusive, finding the stories that no one else is telling.
Yeah. And in terms of bringing more editorial staff on, what do you look for in someone that you want to have to be a part of the Nylon family?
I need the people on my staff to be totally plugged in. I need them to know everything that's happening before it's happening. They need to be really cool, really smart, and they need to love to write because we're writing so much.
Yeah. Are there any issues or articles coming up that we should pay attention to?
One that went up yesterday was our big Pride feature. It was called Outspoken, and we interviewed 13 queer celebrities about activism. And I thought it was really cool because it's kind of things that these particular people don't really talk about, they just do. So the interviews ended up being really powerful.
Yeah. Most moving issue or article for you that you've written?
Oh, for me personally, the one I did this week on Orlando, I felt really passionately about.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody, anything that, any Nylon magazine, obviously, check it out on the web, but anything else that we should keep in mind over the course of the next week with the magazine? Anything coming up that we should know?
Oh, just read it every day. It's always going to look different.
Good.
Yeah.
And you have the remove hair or here's how to get hair back.
Yes, summer 2016.
2016, absolutely. All right, thank you so much.
Oh.